Jai Gurudev. Om Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Pranam to the great Honorable Chief Minister Yogi Adiyanath ji, and full gratitude. It's a great honor to be participating in this inauguration of the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi Ramayana University in the great land of the Veda, Veda Bhumi Bharat, Deva Bhumi Bharat, and particularly in Ayodhya, the seat of Ram, the birthright of wholeness, of Brahman, of totality, that has given the world the total knowledge of natural law through the Ramayana itself, as His Holiness Maharishi Mahesh Yogi has expounded and explained in the entire Vedic literature. That is the representation of the knowledge of life on all levels, on the spiritual level, psychological level, behavioral level, physical human level, and also in the life of the universe itself and its evolution and growth. Maharishi has seen in the Ramayana total natural law as he has seen it in the entire Vedic literature. Total natural law in terms of science, which means understanding of how life works, what are the rules of life, what are the situations that allow growth and development and fulfillment and the creation of wholeness and peace. And on the level of the practical applications, the technologies of consciousness, the technologies of natural law, available in the entire Veda and Vedic literature, to make every individual holy and be able to get enlightened and live a life of perfect health, bliss consciousness, and fulfill the goals of existence and the growth of higher states of consciousness and ultimate enlightenment. The aspects of the Veda that His Holiness Maharishi Mahesh Yogi has organized as a perfect science of life, he has put in 40 aspects, starting from Rig Ved, Samaved, Yajurved, Atharvaved, and then going through all the other aspects: Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakaran, Nirukt, Chand, Jyotish, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Samkhya, Yoga, Karma Mimamsa, Vedanta, and all the values of the supportive Upavedas, Gandharva Vedas, Tapatya Veda, Dhanur Veda, Ayurveda, and then what he also described as the Brahmanas, Upanishad, Aranyak, Brahmana, Itihas, Puran, Smriti, and the Pratishakyas that put everything together. And His Holiness Maharishi Mahesh Yogi has seen how these describe the full dynamics of consciousness from its pure field of oneness, the unified field of total natural law, which modern science is discovering as the field that upholds all the other aspects of the laws of nature. All the manifestation on the surface, from the gross level going into the more subtle levels, through organs and then tissues, for example, in the human body, and cells, and the cells are made out of molecules, and the molecules are made out of atoms, and the atoms are constituted by elementary particles. And modern science discovered that these elementary particles are vibrations of energy, reverberation of fields of energy that are gradually unified into one unified field, which is the source of everything. So objective science, the research from the outside experience and objectivity, has led systematically to the discovery of one field, a unified field, the understanding of the unified field as the source of all creation. And that is the supreme knowledge in the Vedic tradition, in the ultimate understanding that consciousness is all there is. That Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta, says how one unbounded ocean of consciousness appears as the many waves on the surface level of the ocean that become the particles that connect together to become the atoms, and then the molecules, the cells, the tissues, the organs, the whole human body, and indeed the entire universe. And those reverberations of knowledge, those reverberations of the field are experienced by the rishis as reverberations of sound in their own inner cognitions, and this is what Veda most profoundly is. That is why the Vedic technologies, including Vedic chanting, are reverberations of the dynamics by which the one fields appear as many, and through which that field creates all the manifest universe and multiplicity of what we see on the outer level of existence. This is true in all the levels of the Veda, and in the Ramayana, these natural laws are expressed as a story. So the story of natural law is expressed in an abstract way through sound, just reverberation of sound and silence, the structure of sound and silence. And the Ramayana is expressing those same laws as story. And the story is a dynamic story that has its meaning on many, many levels. As a story, an authentic story of Sri Ram and what happened in Ayodhya is a representation also of wholeness on the move. How wholeness brings everything back to proper balance, proper organization, proper structure for peace and for Ram Raj to reign, which is heaven on earth, where rain came on time, where everything is happening in a beautiful way, where balance exists. And based on that, we have done research to show that indeed in the human physiology, as I was blessed to do under Maharishi's guidance and directions, that the human physiology is an expression of all these laws of nature. That Veda and Vedic literature is a blueprint which creates our body. Our body is constructed according to the laws of nature. That's why all the sages throughout time have said, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, I am totality, Vedoham, I am the Veda. And even in all traditions, Confucianism, Buddhism, if we look deeply into their essence, in Christianity and Islam and Judaism, we see that humans were made in the image of God and that the kingdom of heaven is within us. And so this experience of the reality of our status as humans has been in great detail described in Veda and the Vedic literature. And the Ramayana itself is a representation of the dynamics of how we grow, how our physical body develops. And in this research, I have had the great opportunity, the great honor, under Maharishi's guidance, to discover that all the rishis are there within us, all the devatas are within us. All the dynamics of what happens in the Ramayana are the dynamics of how our physiology is built and gets evolved and constructed from a state of balance into greater and greater fullness and balance until we reach enlightenment ourselves. So the reality of Ayodhya, the reality of Ram Raj in Ayodhya, is also the reality of enlightenment in an individual human being. And we can have that very auspicious place, that place of great pilgrimage, of great importance for the whole world, independent of belief, independent of religious understanding and religious belief and philosophy. This is a technology of consciousness, a technology of awareness that invites everyone from all walks of life, from all undertakings, to come and study and understand how they can develop themselves. Self-development to its full value is something open to every human being, no matter what they are doing in their life, their business, their level of education, or their belief system, their culture, their background, their race, their gender. They all come to develop that precious reality which we have within us already, which is Veda, which is total knowledge, and see how all of these factors that are so profoundly within us can be enlivened and developed so that we can truly rise to the highest level of human dignity, of human life, in full enlightenment, in unity consciousness, which is the birthright of every human, as His Holiness Maharishi Mahesh Yogi has explained and has demonstrated. And that happens through the technologies of consciousness, through the understanding of natural law. And we look forward that this great Maharishi Mahesh Yogi Ramayana University will attract the entire world, all the scholars of knowledge, scientists, philosophers, spiritual seekers, and all those who want to see a better life for themselves and society, to come to this university, to study in this university how they can do that in an effective way, indeed in a scientific way, in a way that is systematic, that is reliable, that is repeatable. And Maharishi's plans for Ayodhya are very, very important, and that is to develop that great city as a city of light, a city of knowledge, a city of wholeness, where there is celebration of wholeness, which is Ram. Ram, Brahm, Paramarat, Rupa. Ram is wholeness, is totality. That's how we understand it. And we don't contrast it with any personal belonging or belief, but as a universal reality that is available for everyone to live wholeness. Wholeness is something that we want. Development of our potential, full potential, is something that we desire, and that can be done. We have proven scientifically that the Vedic technologies of all these aspects of the Veda and their sounds and their prescribed technologies in Ayurveda, in Jyotish, in Gandharva Ved, and all Stapatya Ved, and all of these aspects are technologies that develop full integration between the individual and the environment for the creation of peace and happiness. So let us build that great city, that great university as a beginning, and offer to the world, offer to India, to Bharat, Veda Bhumi Bharat, the education that has come from its ancestral knowledge of full understanding of life and shines through India and the Pandits of India and the teachers of the supreme knowledge, the light of life to all mankind, for the creation of a happy, healthy society everywhere, invincibility to every nation, and world peace. Again, our gratitude to all the organizers, those who have pursued this beautiful desire that Maharishi has wanted already 30 years ago, and that is coming to life now, coming to full value. So Prakashji, congratulations to you and all those who are working with you, and our gratitude to the government of India, to the government of Uttar Pradesh, and all those participating. And we pledge our support to make this a success and radiate something beautiful for every human being and for the whole world. All glory to the tradition of masters, to Maharishi and Gurudev, who have given us this knowledge of perfection of life. All glory to the great Honorable Yogi Adiyanath and his government and supporters and all the people of Ayodhya and India for supporting and maintaining that knowledge for all life to be lived in perfection.